What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Over the last few weeks, I've tried out a lot of different Strand builds for hunters. The Assassin's Cow, Frosties, Star Eaters, Sixth Coyote, you get the picture. Most of these proved to be very efficient and have synergized very well with the Strand class tree. But over the last few days, I started to branch out from the obvious pair-ups and decided to check out the Lucky Pants, largely in part due to the addition of the round robin Strand hand cannon. While its whopping 120 rounds per minute might sway some away from using this in PvE, I figured what the hell. And honestly, I was pretty impressed even before pairing it up with the Lucky Pants. And while I haven't used it in the PvP yet, I can clearly see how both the Lucky Pants and the Round Robin can make for a very strong PvP build. The Round Robin hits pretty damn hard and comes with some killer traits like Hatchling, 4th times the charm, Subsistence, Keep Away, and my personal new favorite, Envious Assassin. And while I'm boosting this hand cannon up pretty heavily right now, there's so many strong hand cannons that are in Destiny that will pair up so nicely when you throw on the Lucky Pants with a Strand build. And that's what we're going to be covering in today's video. The Lucky Pants are a very interesting set of exotic boots, both performance-wise and fashion. They make your hunter look downright badass. I mean, come on, the spurs, the boots, all it needs is a cowboy hat. But wait, what's that? Oh yes, Spire of the Watchers offers that fancy little cowboy hat that adds the cherry on top to our Destiny dress-up time. Honestly, this might be why I'm digging this Lucky Pants build so much right now. So yeah, if you haven't done so already, you need to hit up Spire of the Watchers and get this hunter class item, like immediately. But I digress. The Lucky Pants comes with the intrinsic trait called Illegally Modded Holster, which provides a lot of different and kind of confusing benefits. So let's break each of them down. First off, the Lucky Pants no longer intrinsically provides a hand cannon holster mod. This previously forced its way into taking up one armor slot, but that's no longer the case. So if you want to get your hand cannons automatically reloaded when they are holstered, you'll need to add a matching holster mod for that hand cannon's energy type. When you do ready a hand cannon, the illegal holster mod buff will activate, giving you a significant bonus to handling, ready speed, and airborne effectiveness of your equipped hand cannon. Your target acquisition will be improved as well, providing you with a faster ready animation and a larger hit marker cone against your targets for 4 seconds, ultimately giving you a significant advantage on that first draw, just like a cowboy. This is not the only benefit that Lucky Pants offers though. When you ready a fully loaded hand cannon that's either kinetic or of a matching energy type, this hand cannon will receive a stacking damage bonus for 5.5 seconds. This damage bonus starts at 60% for the first shot and will continue to stack up for each consecutive shot, up to 10 in total, with the 10th hit dishing out 600% bonus damage, as long as it's made within the 5.5 second window. That's a lot of bonus damage that you can dish out in just a few seconds time. Once the 5.5 seconds is up, you'll get a debuff called Out of Luck, where you will not be able to re-trigger the damage bonus for 10 seconds. This only prohibits you from re-triggering the damage bonus though. You can still swap back to your hand cannon during this 10-second debuff to get improved handling, ready speed, airborne effectiveness, and all of the other jazz, which is where this exotic can really make an impact when in PvP. The Lucky Pants can be strong on any subclass. I've always felt as though it worked best with a solar build, but I've really come to enjoy how it feels on a Strand build, and a lot of that has to do with the essence of a cowboy, which the grapple kind of replicates. Even the shackle grenade, both remind me so much of lassos and hog ties. It all just blends so well together. Between the two options, I prefer the grapple as our grenade option. The shackles are fun and great at suspending enemies, but that's also something we can trigger with the use of our ensnaring slam. The grapple gives us the mobility advantage, and it allows us to grapple to our target, pull ourselves near them, then perform either the grapple charge melee, sling out a threaded spike, or perform the ensnaring slam to trap a large group of enemies and suspend them, making them easy targets for a buffed up hand cannon. While the Round Robin makes for a great pair-up because of its Strand energy type, other hand cannons like the Malfeasance, the Ace of Spades, the Crimson, Hawkmoon, and many others will provide unique benefits to this already buffed up setup. The key thing to remember is that you'll only get the damage bonus when using hand cannons that are kinetic or of the same energy type. While you'll still get the other benefits of illegally modded holster, it definitely brings the effectiveness and usefulness of this exotic down when not pairing it up properly. Bringing me to our Strand subclass, where our main goal is to scale up our focus on hand cannon buffs and damage, which means we want to have our abilities available as much as possible. Another reason why we're going with grapple, since we'll get 2 grapples thanks to Widow's Silk. Since we're going to be using holster mods to regenerate ammo, we can use Gambler's Dodge for better mobility and regeneration of our threaded spike. For fragments, I like using Thread of Mind. Since Ensnaring Slam consumes our class ability, we can immediately start restoring that energy when we defeat suspended enemies. This has scaled return starting at 9% for tier 1 enemies and as much as 40 and 50% for mini bosses and bosses. This is really going to help get that Ensnaring Slam ability right back when you catch multiple enemies in suspension. Per the norm, we are using Thread of Warding so that we can get that lovely woven mail with 60% damage resistance for 10 seconds. We're also using Thread of Generation. This one is rather awesome, honestly. It reduces discipline by 10 points, but dealing any damage generates grenade energy. It's not very much per hit, but even 1% returned energy off of each landed SMG round adds up pretty fast. And lastly, we're going with Thread of Continuity, which is going to keep those enemies that we suspend stay there for twice as long. This also increases the duration that enemies will be severed and unraveled, and will tack on an extra 10 points of strength. If you are using the round robin or any other Strand weapon with this build, you'll find that the Thread of Propagation works really well, since powered melee kills grant your Strand weapons unraveling rounds, making it very beneficial against champions. When deciding on the armor mods to use with this build, it's really going to hinge on your choice of hand cannon. There's also several artifact mods this season that influence this choice further. The authorized Strand mod in the second column will reduce the energy cost of mods that are focused towards Strand, and so will the grenade authorized mod, so both should be activated. The multi-siphon mod will let you pair Strand up with either solar or void, which I am taking advantage of to create orbs from multiple energy sources. Allied Unraveling, Counterweave, and Threaded Blast will also make excellent mods when using Strand weapons, like the Round Robin, the Circular Logic Heavy Machine Gun, or a number of other new Strand weapons. Overall, I feel like this build fits best when paired up with the Ace of Spades, but because of this season's artifact mod, the Round Robin definitely gets some exclusive advantages, but that also opens us up to use an exotic elsewhere. I think by now everyone is well aware of how beneficial wave-frame grenade launchers like the Forbearance are. These can be especially effective against suspended enemies. The Harsh Language is another great grenade launcher to pair up here. Shotguns with incandescent, like the Mindbenders, can really fit into the cowboy theme and provide a lot of benefits when grappling to enemies. Currently, I'm running the Solar Trace Rifle from Root of Nightmares, called Akesha's Dejection, for a few significant reasons. One, it has target lock, giving it a big bonus in damage for consecutive hits. But two, it's got Envious Assassin, giving me an overflowed magazine when I get rapid kills against enemies with other weapons. Since we're using Round Robin and Lucky Pants, we get that damage bonus when we swap to our hand cannon. So we're going to be swapping back and forth quite often. Getting that big bonus to magazine size will go very nicely when we have a strong trace rifle with target lock or even incandescent. The third key reason is because we are using multiple holster mods. Currently, both Strand and solar weapons are getting auto reloaded when holstered. This is such a beneficial attribute that can completely cut away the wasted time in reloading. My choice in heavy comes down to whether I'm using an exotic hand cannon or the Round Robin. If Round Robin, then I'm going with either the Gallarhorn, because why not? Or the Parasite, because that's like having explosive light on horse steroids. And hey, if we don't have to reload the Parasite either, that damage bonus is just going to keep coming back without us having to wait on a horrifically long reload animation. The Thunderlord is also a great weapon that not only fits the cowboy persona, but is just downright nasty right now against bosses, including every boss in the Root of Nightmares. So honestly, if you're looking at maximizing the DPS potential, the Thunderlord will be where it's at. The Lament, on the flip side, is just as strong, on a more close-up and personal level. While it doesn't flesh well with the cowboy theme, it does pack a punch and provide you with a great shield and health regeneration. When looking at legendary heavy options, my main two are either the Cry Mutiny with Vorpal and Incandescent, which is just amazing against suspended enemies. Otherwise, the Circular Logic, which has Target Lock or Hatchlings, paired up with Envious Assassin. By using another Strand weapon, you'll be in a good position to be able to reap the benefits of the Strand seasonal mods, plus the boost in magazine size. There's clearly other weapons that are going to fare out nicely here, especially those with explosive light. But for now, let's not get too derailed, and let's now take a look at the armor mods that will be pairing up with this Lucky Pants Strand build. Keep in mind these choices will be influenced on our choice of hand cannon. For helmet, we can throw on the multi-siphon, solar, and strand mod, so every weapon we use can create orbs. Ashes to assets will be generating super energy when we defeat enemies with our charged melee grapple. And if you're not worried about ammo conservation, then throwing on a target acquisition mod for Strand should be pretty cheap, only costing 1 energy. We're also using Strand Reloader on our gloves, which is just going to be 1 energy for this season. So will Impact Induction, which is going to give us 20% grenade energy when we hit an enemy with our charged melee. We're also using Firepower, so that we'll create orbs off of those grapple charge kills. For chest, I find it best if you are under 70 points of resilience to utilize the Font of Endurance. This way you get a bonus of 30 points to your resilience, as long as you have armor charge active, making you far more likely to survive your engagements. The same can be said for resistance mods like melee resistance, energy resistance, and sniper resistance. Just be wary of using harmonic resistance with Strand especially, because its effects do not appear to be working. As mentioned earlier, we are using multiple holster mods on our Lucky Pants, but this is going to be influenced on our choice in weapons. If we're using weapons that have Envious Assassin, it's not going to be as beneficial to have holster mods, so you may find yourself only wanting to utilize 1 holster mod for your hand cannon, so that you can utilize a weapon surge mod to get a 10 or even up to a 22% weapon damage boost with the use of 3. I also like using Recuperation or Better Already. Outside of Woven Mail, this is going to be our only source of health regeneration, which will get 70 points of health to go on top of that Woven Mail. For class item, we're using the Reaper mod. This generates orbs after defeating enemies with weapons after dodging. We're also using 1 Time Dilation mod, which is going to increase the duration of our armor charge decay, going from 10 seconds to 15. While Bomber and Outreach will both be great mods to use, I do like the benefits that the Special Ammo Finisher mod provides, as it generates special ammo for the whole team, which can really be beneficial when you're running special grenade launchers or trace rifles. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of these mods will be dependent on your choice in hand cannon, but ultimately, they are all designed towards improving the performance of the Lucky Pants to dish out the most damage while having the best possible synergy with Strand abilities, which I do believe gets pulled off very nicely here. And with that being said, that's going to wrap up our Strand Cowboy Hunter build, featuring the amazing Lucky Pants, a build that Cade himself would rock out with his cock out. So Guardians, what are your thoughts of the Lucky Pants with Strand? And what hand cannon do you find pairs up with Strand the best? Is it Ace of Spades, Malfeasance, The Last Word, or the Round Robin? Let me know your thoughts down below, and thank you for checking out today's video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.